When Elon Musk's private jet was stopped on the runway at 6:47 in the morning, he had no idea that this delay would reveal something that would make him more furious than he'd ever been in his life. His $70 million jet sat frozen on the tarmac. Airport security wouldn't let him leave. No explanation, no reason. Just a young security officer standing at the bottom of the stairs with a clipboard, refusing to budge. Elon had engineers waiting in Florida. A rocket sitting on a launch pad, investors watching his every move, and now this mysterious hold that made absolutely no sense. "What do you mean I can't take off?" Elon demanded, his voice sharp with anger. But when he walked down those jet stairs to confront the security officer face to face, he noticed something strange. The young man was holding a worn photograph in his trembling hand, and his eyes were red like he'd been crying all night. That's when everything got complicated. Because what started as a simple airport delay turned into a story about desperate choices, stolen technology worth millions of dollars, and a 12-year-old girl fighting for her life. 3 families, one chaotic morning, and a decision that would change everything. But here's what you need to know. The real reason Elon Musk was furious that morning, it wasn't what anyone expected. Not the delay, not the theft, not even the security hold on his jet. It was something much bigger. Something that would make you see this whole story differently. Stay with me until the end, because when you find out what really happened that morning, and why a little girl's life hung in the balance, you'll understand why this isn't just a story about a billionaire's jet. It's a story about what happens when everyone's fighting their own desperate battle, and nobody can see the ripples they're creating. Let me take you back to where it all began. That cold Tuesday morning in Austin, Texas, when Marcus Webb made a decision that would either save his sister's life or destroy his own. The sun wasn't even up yet when Elon Musk's private jet rolled to a stop on the tarmac at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. It was 6:47 on a Tuesday morning, and the sky was still painted in shades of deep purple and orange. Inside the luxurious Gulfstream G650ER, Elon paced back and forth like a tiger in a cage. His phone was pressed against his ear, and his voice grew sharper with each passing second. "What do you mean we can't take off?" he said into the phone. "Check again. There must be a mistake." Captain Rodriguez, his pilot for the past 5 years, stood near the cockpit door. His face looked worried. He'd never seen the airport deny them clearance before. "Sir," the captain said gently, "they're saying there's a security hold on the aircraft. They won't tell us anything more than that." Elon stopped pacing, his jaw tightened. "A security hold on MY jet? That's impossible. Our paperwork is perfect. Our crew is cleared. Everything is in order." He walked to one of the large oval windows and looked out. On the tarmac below, he could see a young man in an airport security uniform standing at the bottom of the jet stairs. The man held a clipboard and looked nervous. Behind him stood a woman with gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. Her arms were crossed and her expression was stern. "Who are those people?" Elon asked. Captain Rodriguez looked out the window. "That's airport security. The young one must be the officer who filed the hold. The woman is probably his supervisor." Elon felt his blood pressure rising. He had engineers waiting for him in Florida. A SpaceX rocket sat on the launch pad ready for a test that could change everything. Investors were watching. The media was documenting every move. And now this mysterious delay that made absolutely no sense. His assistant, Maria, walked up with her tablet. "Mr. Musk, I've called the FAA. They're looking into it. Local police are on their way too." "I don't want police," Elon snapped. "I want answers. I want to know why my jet is being held hostage on a runway when I have somewhere important to be." He looked at his watch. Every minute that ticked by was a minute lost. Time was something even he couldn't buy more of, no matter how much money he had. "Should I try calling the airport director?" Maria asked. "Yes, call everyone. Call the governor if you have to. This is ridiculous." But even as he said it, something nagged at him. Security holds didn't just happen randomly, especially not to someone like him. There had to be a reason, but what? He thought about everything that had happened in the past 24 hours. The chip shipment from California, the angry email from a competitor, the weird phone call last night that had disconnected before anyone spoke. Were these things connected? "Sir," Captain Rodriguez interrupted his thoughts. "What do you want me to do?" Elon made a decision. "I'm going down there. I'm going to talk to whoever is responsible for this delay face to face." "Are you sure that's wise?" Maria asked. "Maybe we should wait for—" "I don't wait," Elon said firmly. He grabbed his jacket and headed for the door. As he descended the stairs, the morning air hit his face. It was cool and crisp. The airport was quiet at this early hour. Only a few other planes sat on nearby runways. The young security officer watched him approach. Up close, Elon could see the man was probably in his mid-20s. His name tag read Marcus Webb. His hands trembled slightly as he held the clipboard. Behind Marcus, the gray-haired supervisor straightened her posture. Her name tag said Patricia Donovan, Security Supervisor. "I'm Elon Musk," he said, though of course they already knew that. "I need to speak with whoever filed this security hold on my aircraft." Marcus swallowed hard. That would be me, sir." "On what grounds?" Elon demanded. His voice was controlled, but barely. "My documentation is perfect. My crew has been cleared by the FAA. My flight plan was filed yesterday. What possible reason could you have for keeping me grounded?" Marcus's hand shook as he reached into his clipboard. He pulled out a photograph. It was worn at the edges like he'd been holding it for a long time. "Sir, I need to show you something," Marcus said, his voice cracking. Elon stared at the photograph. It showed a teenage girl with dark eyes and a bright smile. She wore a hospital bracelet on one wrist and a birthday bracelet on the other. She looked happy but also tired, very tired. "What is this?" Elon asked, confused. "Why are you showing me a picture of some random girl?" Marcus's eyes filled with tears. "That's my sister, Zara." Elon stared at Marcus, then back at the photograph. "I don't understand. What does your sister have to do with my jet being held?" Before Marcus could answer, Patricia stepped forward. "Webb, what are you doing? You can't just show random photos to—" "Please," Marcus interrupted, his voice desperate. "Just give me 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking." Elon's assistant Maria appeared at his side. "Sir, we really need to go. The launch window is—" Elon held up his hand. Something in Marcus's eyes stopped him. It was a look he recognized. Desperation. Fear. The kind of fear that came from loving someone so much that you'd do anything to save them. "5 minutes," Elon said. "Then I'm leaving and you're going to explain to your boss why you stopped me." Marcus nodded quickly. He took a deep breath. "My sister Zara is 16 years old. She has a rare heart condition called dilated cardiomyopathy. Her heart is failing. She needs surgery or she's going to die." The words hung in the cool morning air. "I'm sorry to hear that," Elon said carefully, "but I still don't understand what this has to do with—" "The surgery costs $85,000, Marcus continued, speaking faster now as if he knew his time was running out. "Insurance won't cover most of it. They say it's experimental. They say there are other options, but those options don't work. The doctors have told us this surgery is her only real chance." Patricia put her hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Webb, stop. You're making this worse." But Marcus pulled away. "I've been working double shifts for 3 months. I sold my car. I borrowed money from everyone I know. I started a fundraising page online. After all of that, I've only raised $4,200. He looked directly at Elon and tears started rolling down his face. "Yesterday, the hospital called my mom. They said they're moving up the surgery decision. They need the money by Friday or they're giving Zara's surgical spot to another patient. If that happens, she could wait another 6 months, maybe longer. The doctors say she doesn't have 6 months. Elon felt something twist in his chest. He knew that kind of phone call, the kind that changed everything, the kind that made the world stop spinning. But he also felt anger rising. "So you held my jet to ask me for money. Do you have any idea how many people try to?" "I know," Marcus said loudly, then softer. "I know it's wrong. I know I could go to jail for this. I know you probably get 1,000 requests every day from people who need help, but I'm out of options, Mr. Musk, completely out, and you were my last chance." Patricia pulled out her radio. "That's enough. Webb, you're suspended immediately. Mr. Musk, I'm calling the police right now. This is extortion." "Wait," Elon said again. Everyone froze. Elon looked at the photograph again, really looked at it this time. The girl Zara was wearing a purple dress. Behind her was a cake with 16 candles. She was surrounded by balloons, but you could see the hospital bracelet clearly. She'd probably left the hospital just for this one party, just for one day of feeling normal. When was this taken? Elon asked quietly. Last month, Marcus said. Her 16th birthday. She was so sick that day, but she insisted on having a party. She said she wanted to celebrate being alive while she still could. The words hit Elon like a punch to the stomach. He thought about his own children, about how he'd do anything to protect them, about how helpless he'd felt when his son Nevada died despite all his money and power and influence. Mr. Musk, Maria said gently, we really need to make a decision. The launch window. I know about the launch window, Elon said, more harshly than he meant to. He took a breath. Marcus, let me ask you something. Did you really think this would work? Did you think stopping my jet would make me want to help you? Marcus shook his head. No, honestly, I didn't think past getting you to stop. I just knew I had to try something, anything. Because tomorrow I have to look my little sister in the eyes and tell her I couldn't save her. And I can't do that, I can't. His voice broke completely on the last word. Patricia spoke into her radio. This is Donovan. I need officers at the private terminal. We have a situation. How much time does she have? Elon asked. Your sister, how much time before Friday's deadline? Marcus checked his phone with shaking hands. 63 hours. 63 hours to save her life, and I have no idea how. Elon felt his phone buzzing in his pocket. It was probably his team in Florida wondering where he was, wondering why the mission was delayed. They didn't know about Marcus. They didn't know about Zara. They only knew that Elon Musk was supposed to be there and he wasn't. He looked at Marcus, then at Patricia, then at his assistant Maria. Sir, Maria asked, what do you want to do? Before Elon could answer, Patricia's radio crackled to life. Donovan, this is dispatch. We're sending officers now. ETA 3 minutes. Marcus closed his eyes. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry, I just wanted to save my sister. And that's when Elon made a decision that surprised everyone, including himself. Tell me the name of her hospital, he said. Marcus's eyes flew open. What? Your sister's hospital, tell me the name, and her doctor's name right now. But before Marcus could answer, Elon held up his hand. Wait, actually don't tell me yet. Marcus looked confused. What, but you just asked? I need to understand something first, Elon said. He turned to Patricia. How long has Marcus worked here? Patricia looked surprised by the question. Almost 3 years. He's been a good employee until today, never missed a shift, never had any complaints. And this is the first time he's ever done anything like this. Yes, sir, absolutely the first time. Elon nodded slowly. He looked back at Marcus. I want to hear the whole story, not just about your sister. I want to know how you got here, how a good employee with no complaints ends up stopping a private jet on a runway. Start from the beginning. But the police are coming, Marcus said desperately, and your launch window. Answer the question, Elon said firmly. Marcus took a shaky breath. His mind went back to where it all started, back to the moment everything changed. It was 18 hours ago, Marcus began. I was at home in my apartment. I just finished a double shift and I was so tired I could barely stand, but I couldn't sleep. He paused, remembering that awful feeling. I was looking at the fundraising page on my laptop, the one I made for Zara's surgery. I'd shared it everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'd emailed everyone I knew. I even stood outside grocery stores on my days off, asking people to donate. How much did you raise? Elon asked. $4,217, Marcus said. After 3 months, I needed $85,000. I wasn't even close. He wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. Then my phone rang. It was my mom. Her voice was shaking. She said the hospital had called with news. They were moving up the decision date for Zara's surgery. Instead of having until the end of the month, we had until Friday. 3 days. 72 hours to come up with the money, or Zara would lose her spot. Patricia shifted uncomfortably. She was hearing this story for the first time too. My mom was crying, Marcus continued. She kept saying, what are we going to do? How are we going to save her? And I didn't have an answer. I'm her big brother. I'm supposed to protect her, but I couldn't. So what did you do? Elon asked quietly. I tried everything I could think of. I called banks to ask about loans, but my credit isn't good enough. I called every charity organization in Texas. Most of them said they couldn't help with such a large amount. A few said they'd add her to a waiting list, but the wait could be months. Marcus laughed bitterly. Months? Zara doesn't have months. He looked down at the photograph in his hand. That night I couldn't sleep at all. I just lay in bed staring at the ceiling, and I kept thinking about all the private jets I see here every single day. Jets that cost $70 million, $80 million, $100 million, people flying to their vacation homes, to their business meetings, to their parties. And you thought one of them should help you, Elon said. It wasn't a question. I thought it wasn't fair, Marcus admitted. I thought about how one of those jets costs more than 1,000 surgeries like Zara's, how the fuel for one flight could save multiple lives, and I got angry, really angry. Patricia started to speak, but Elon motioned for her to be quiet. When did you decide to do this? He asked Marcus. This morning. When I came to work, I checked the flight schedule like I always do, and I saw your name, Elon Musk, scheduled to depart at 7:00 a.m. Marcus met Elon's eyes. I've read about you, Mr. Musk. I've read about how you want to help humanity, how you want to make the world better, how you talk about saving the human race by going to Mars. And I thought maybe if you knew about Zara, if you could see that she's a real person with real dreams, maybe you'd understand. So you filed a false security hold, Patricia said angrily. You abused your position. You broke the law. I know, Marcus said quietly. I knew it was wrong when I did it. I knew I could lose my job. I knew I could be arrested. But what choice did I have? Let my sister die without even trying. He turned back to Elon. You have 5 children, Mr. Musk. I looked it up last night. 5 kids who you love. What would you do if one of them was dying? What wouldn't you do to save them? The question hung in the air between them. Elon's jaw tightened. His hands clenched into fists. For a moment, no one spoke. In the distance, Marcus could hear sirens. The police were getting closer. I didn't plan past this moment, Marcus admitted. I didn't think about what happens after I stop you. I just knew I had to try. I had to look you in the eye and tell you about Zara. I had to show you she's worth saving. He held out the photograph again. So that's how I got here. That's why I did this impossible, stupid, probably illegal thing. Because she's my sister, and I love her more than anything in the world. Elon stared at the photograph for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone. Marcus's heart jumped into his throat. Was Elon calling the police himself? Was he about to make everything worse? But Elon didn't dial. He just held the phone, staring at it like he was trying to make a decision. A huge decision. The sirens grew louder, maybe 30 seconds away now. Mr. Musk, Maria said nervously. Sir, what are you thinking? Elon didn't answer. Instead, he looked up at Marcus with an expression that was hard to read. It wasn't quite anger anymore, but it wasn't kindness either. It was something in between, something complicated. You said Zara is 16, Elon asked. Yes, sir. She just turned 16 last month. What does she want to be when she grows up? The question caught Marcus off guard. What? Your sister. What are her dreams? What does she want to do with her life if she gets this surgery? Marcus felt tears coming again. She wants to be a teacher, an elementary school teacher. She loves kids. Even when she's sick, even when she's in pain, she volunteers at the children's reading program at our library. She says every child deserves someone who believes in them. Elon closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, they looked different, softer somehow. I had a son, Elon said quietly. His name was Nevada. He died when he was 10 weeks old. Sudden infant death syndrome. Marcus felt his breath catch. He'd read about this years ago but had forgotten. I held him in my arms, Elon continued, his voice thick. I had all the money in the world, all the resources, the best doctors, the best hospitals, and none of it mattered. I couldn't save him. I couldn't protect him. I was powerless. A police car pulled into view, lights flashing but no siren now. 2 officers got out and started walking toward them. So don't stand here and tell me I don't understand what it means to want to save someone you love, Elon said, his voice harder now. Don't tell me I don't know about desperation. I know it better than you think. "I'm sorry," Marcus whispered. "I didn't mean." "But here's the difference between you and me," Elon interrupted. His voice was rising now, and the anger was coming back. "When my son died, I didn't hold someone else's life hostage. I didn't break the law. I didn't manipulate someone into feeling guilty enough to help me." The police officers were 20 feet away now. "What you did today was wrong, Marcus. Not just illegal. Wrong. You put my mission at risk. You delayed a rocket launch that could help millions of people in the future. You made me a hostage in your personal crisis." Marcus felt his hope crumbling into dust. "Do you have any idea how many people try to get money from me every single day?" Elon continued, his voice getting louder. "Hundreds, thousands. Everyone has a sick relative. Everyone has a crisis. Everyone has a reason why their emergency is more important than whatever I'm doing." "Mr. Musk," one of the police officers called out, "we're here about the security situation." Patricia turned to them. "Officers, this man filed a false security hold. He's been attempting to extort Mr. Musk for money." "I wasn't extorting," Marcus said desperately. "I just wanted to talk to him. I just wanted him to know about Zara." "By holding my jet," Elon shouted. "By stopping me from doing my job. By making me choose between your sister and my work." "Yes," Marcus shouted back. "Because she's my sister. Because she's here right now, dying right now, not in some future, because she's real." They stood there facing each other, both breathing hard, both filled with emotion. The police officers moved closer. "Sir," one of them said to Marcus, "we're going to need you to step away and come with us." Marcus felt handcuffs being pulled from the officer's belt. "Wait," Elon said, not loudly this time, just firmly. Everyone stopped. Elon put his phone back in his pocket. He walked closer to Marcus, close enough that only Marcus could really hear him. "You want to know what really makes me angry?" Elon asked quietly. "It's not that you stopped my jet. It's not even that you tried to manipulate me. It's that you made me think about the impossible choice." "What choice?" Marcus asked, confused. "The choice between one life and many lives. Between saving your sister and potentially helping millions with my work. Between the person in front of me right now and all the people in the future who might benefit from what I'm trying to do." Elon's voice cracked slightly. "Because you're right. Your sister is real. She's here now. She has a name and a face and dreams. And that makes her matter more than statistics, more than potential future people. In this moment standing here, she matters more than almost anything else." Marcus didn't understand where this was going. "But if I help you," Elon continued, "what about the next person? And the next? What about the other 16-year-olds dying right now who don't have a brother brave enough or stupid enough to stop my jet? Do they matter less because no one stopped me for them?" "I don't know," Marcus admitted. "I only know about Zara. I can only save Zara." Elon nodded slowly. "And that's the truth, isn't it? We can only save the people right in front of us. We can't save everyone. We can barely save anyone." He pulled his phone back out. "Sir," the police officer asked, "do you want to press charges?" Elon looked at Marcus for a long moment, then at the photograph of Zara still clutched in Marcus's hand, then at Patricia, then at his assistant Maria. "Give me the hospital name," Elon said to Marcus, "and the doctor's name, right now." Marcus's hands shook as he pulled out his phone. "Dell Children's Medical Center. The doctor is Dr. Sarah Patel. She's the head of pediatric cardiology." Elon's fingers moved across his phone screen. He made a call. Someone answered on the second ring. "This is Elon Musk," he said into the phone. "I need you to wire money immediately. I'm going to give you the details." Marcus couldn't believe what he was hearing. Elon walked several steps away, still on the phone. His voice was too quiet for Marcus to hear the exact words, but Marcus could see him nodding, could see his fingers moving as he typed something on his phone screen. The two police officers looked at each other, confused. Patricia stood frozen, unsure what to do. Maria watched her boss with concern. Marcus felt like his legs might give out. Was this really happening? Was Elon Musk actually helping him? After what felt like forever but was probably only 2 minutes, Elon made a second call. This one was shorter. Then a third call which lasted less than 30 seconds. Finally, Elon walked back to where Marcus stood. His face was completely unreadable. Your sister's surgery will be paid for, Elon said flatly. In full, $85,000. My team is wiring the money to Dell Children's Medical Center right now. The payment should arrive within the hour. Marcus's knees actually did buckle. He grabbed the railing of the jet stairs to keep from falling. What? You're serious? You're really doing this? Yes, Elon said. His voice had no warmth in it. The hospital will call you within the next 2 hours to confirm. Your sister will get her surgery. Tears poured down Marcus's face. He couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, couldn't do anything except cry. Thank you, he finally choked out. Thank you so much. You saved her. You saved my sister. Patricia let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. Even the police officers looked relieved. But Elon held up his hand. His expression was ice cold. But here's what you need to understand, Marcus Webb, Elon said, his voice hard as steel. What you did today was still wrong. It was illegal. It was manipulation. It was emotional blackmail. Marcus felt his relief starting to drain away. You held my jet hostage. You cost me time. You cost my company money. You put an entire SpaceX mission at risk because of your personal crisis. I know, but I'm not finished, Elon cut him off. You got what you wanted. Your sister will live, but there are consequences for your actions. There have to be. Elon turned to Patricia. He should be fired, immediately, and I expect you to press charges for filing a false security hold and for attempted extortion. No, Marcus gasped. Please, I need this job. My sister's medical bills don't end with the surgery. There's recovery, medication, physical therapy, follow-up appointments. That's not my problem anymore, Elon said coldly. I paid for the surgery. I've done my part. Now you have to deal with the consequences of yours. Marcus felt his world collapsing. Yes, Zara would live, but how would they pay for everything else? How would they survive? He just destroyed his entire future to save her life. Mr. Musk, please, Marcus begged. I know what I did was wrong. I know I don't deserve your help, but please don't take away my ability to take care of her after the surgery. She'll need me. She'll need. You should have thought about that before you stopped my jet, Elon said. He turned to the police officers. Officers, I want a full report filed. This man filed a false security claim and attempted to manipulate me for money. One of the officers pulled out his notebook. Yes, sir, we'll need your statement. Patricia reached for her radio. I'm calling headquarters to begin termination paperwork for Webb. Wait, Marcus shouted desperately. His voice echoed across the empty tarmac. Mr. Musk, please, just listen for one more second. Elon stopped. He didn't turn around, but he stopped. I know I was wrong, Marcus said, words tumbling out fast. I know I broke the rules. I know I put you in an impossible position. But I did it because I love my sister more than I love my job, more than I love my freedom, more than anything. His voice cracked. If loving someone that much is a crime, then I'm guilty. But please don't punish Zara for my mistake. Don't make her recovery harder because I was desperate and stupid. Punish me, arrest me, fire me. But please, please don't take away my ability to care for her when she needs me most. Elon stood perfectly still. The sun was higher now, casting long shadows across the tarmac. Somewhere in the distance, another plane was taking off. You know what the worst part is? Elon said finally, still not turning around. The worst part is that I understand. I understand loving someone so much that you'd break any rule to save them. I understand desperation. I understand that impossible moment when you realize you'd do anything, literally anything, to protect someone you love. He turned slowly, but understanding doesn't make it right, and it doesn't mean there shouldn't be consequences. Elon walked back to his jet stairs. He placed one foot on the first step. Marcus watched his entire future crumbling. Yes, Zara would have her surgery, but he'd have no job, probably a criminal record, no way to support her through recovery. He'd saved her life but destroyed both their futures. Mr. Musk, Marcus called out one last time. Elon paused, one foot on the stair, one hand on the railing, and then his phone rang. Elon pulled it out, looked at the screen, and his entire body went rigid. His knuckles turned white as he gripped the phone. He answered it. Yes. Marcus couldn't hear what the person on the other end was saying, but he could see Elon's face changing. First surprise, then confusion, then something that looked like shock. "When did this happen?" Elon demanded into the phone. His voice was sharp, urgent. "How long have you known about this?" A pause while he listened. "Are you absolutely certain?" Another pause. Then Elon's face transformed into an expression of pure rage, not the controlled anger from before, real fury, the kind that makes someone's hands shake. "I'm coming back to the terminal," Elon said into the phone. "Right now, don't let anyone leave. Don't let anyone touch anything. I'll be there in 2 minutes." He hung up and spun around. The look on his face made Marcus take a step back. "You," Elon said, pointing at Marcus, "come with me right now." "What, why?" "Because someone at this airport has stolen from me," Elon said, his voice shaking with barely controlled rage. "Someone has stolen something worth millions of dollars, and you're going to help me find out who." Marcus stood frozen. "I don't understand. What was stolen? I didn't steal anything from you." "I know you didn't," Elon snapped. "But you work here. You see everything that happens at this airport, and right now you're going to help me figure this out." He turned to Patricia. "I need to use your office, now, and I need access to every security camera feed from this airport for the past 24 hours. Patricia's face went pale. "Mr. Musk, I'd need authorization from the airport director too." "Then get authorization," Elon shouted. "Someone has stolen technology from my company that's worth millions, maybe billions. Every second we waste gives them more time to disappear." The police officers stepped forward. "Sir, if there's been a theft, we need to file a report and—" "No police report. Not yet." Elon's voice was firm. "If word gets out that this technology has been stolen, my competitors will be lining up to buy it. We need to find it quietly and fast." He looked at Maria. "Call security at the Tesla facility. Tell them to lock down everything. No one in or out until we sort this." Maria nodded and immediately pulled out her phone. Patricia made a decision. "Follow me. We can use my office in the security building." They all moved quickly across the tarmac. Elon, Marcus, Patricia, Maria, and the 2 confused police officers. The sun was fully up now, and the airport was starting to wake up. Regular passengers were arriving for their flights, completely unaware of the drama unfolding. Patricia's office was small and cramped. One wall was covered with monitors showing different camera angles from around the airport. Her desk was piled with paperwork and coffee cups. "Clear that desk," Elon ordered, pulling out his laptop from his bag. As Patricia swept papers aside, Elon's fingers flew across his keyboard. Maria stood behind him, her phone pressed to her ear, talking rapidly to someone at Tesla headquarters. Marcus stood awkwardly near the door, still trying to process what was happening. 10 minutes ago, he thought he was going to jail. Now he was somehow involved in hunting down a thief who'd stolen from Elon Musk. "Okay," Elon said, turning his laptop so everyone could see. "This arrived in my secure email exactly 23 minutes ago." On the screen was an email with no sender name, just a string of random numbers and letters. Marcus read it aloud. "Elon, we have your prototype. The AI chip from the Tesla lab. If you want it back, transfer $50 million in Bitcoin to the following address by Friday. If you contact authorities, we'll sell it to your competitors. You have 72 hours. $50 million, one of the police officers whispered. "The chip is worth more than that," Elon said bitterly. "Much more. It's the prototype for our next generation AI processing chip. The technology inside it represents 3 years of research and development. If it reaches our competitors, they'll reverse engineer it. We'll lose our advantage in the autonomous driving market." He pulled up another screen. The chip was being transported from our California research facility to our headquarters here in Austin. It was supposed to arrive on a secure cargo flight yesterday afternoon at 2:47 p.m. Patricia was already pulling up flight logs on her computer. "I see that flight. It landed on time. Cargo Bay 3. "The chip never made it to our facility," Elon said. "When our team went to pick it up, the container was empty. Security seals had been broken and resealed. Someone with access to that cargo bay took it." He looked directly at Marcus. "You work security. You see everything that happens here. Who would have access to Cargo Bay 3? Marcus's mind was racing. Cargo handlers mainly, and security officers who patrol that area, and maintenance crews, maybe 15 to 20 people total. Yesterday afternoon between 2:47 p.m. and 5:00 p.m. who was working in that area. Marcus tried to remember. Yesterday felt like a year ago. I wasn't assigned to cargo yesterday. I was working the main terminal, but I can check the duty roster. Patricia was already pulling it up. Cargo Bay 3 yesterday afternoon. We had 4 handlers on duty. Vincent Torres, Jimmy Chen, Marcus Rodriguez, and Sarah Williams. The security patrol officer was Derek Paulson. I need background on all of them, Elon said. Now. Maria had finished her call. Sir, I've got our security team reviewing all shipment protocols. They're checking if any other facilities have had similar breaches. Good, tell them to cross-reference anyone who's had access to multiple facilities. Elon turned back to the monitors. Patricia, I need to see camera footage from Cargo Bay 3, starting from when that plane landed. Patricia's fingers moved across her keyboard, pulling it up now. The monitors flickered and suddenly they were looking at security footage from yesterday afternoon. The timestamp read 2:51 p.m. They watched as the cargo plane was unloaded. Workers in bright orange vests moved containers on forklifts. Everything looked normal. There, Marcus said, pointing at the screen. That's Vincent Torres, the tall guy with the gray hair. They watched Vincent sign something on a clipboard and move a mid-sized silver container onto a forklift. That's our shipment, Elon said, his voice tense. They watched Vincent drive the forklift into the cargo bay. The camera angle couldn't see everything inside, but they could see Vincent parking the container, then walking back out. Nothing suspicious so far, Patricia muttered. Keep watching, Elon said. The footage continued. Other workers came and went. Nothing seemed wrong. Then at 3:47 p.m., Vincent came back, alone this time. Why is he going back? Marcus asked. They watched as Vincent looked around, checking if anyone was watching. Then he walked quickly back into the cargo bay. The angle was bad, but they could see him bending over something, his hands moving fast. He's opening the container, Maria said. 2 minutes later, Vincent emerged. He was carrying a small box, maybe the size of a lunchbox, tucked under his jacket. He walked quickly toward the employee parking lot. There, Elon said, his voice deadly quiet. There's your thief. Patricia looked shocked. Vincent Torres, he's worked here for 5 years. Never a single complaint, never any problems. Everyone has a price, Elon said coldly. Or a pressure point, something that makes them desperate enough to steal. Marcus felt sick. He knew Vincent, not well, but they'd eaten lunch together a few times. Vincent had seemed like a good guy, quiet, hardworking. Where is Vincent Torres now? Elon demanded. Patricia checked her computer. Her face went even paler. He called in sick this morning. First time he's missed work in 2 years. He ran, one of the police officers said. He's got the chip and he ran. Elon slammed his hand on the desk. Find him now. Check his home address. Check his car registration. Check his credit card activity. I want to know where Vincent Torres is right this second. Sir, Maria said carefully. The email said if we contact authorities. I don't care what the email said, Elon shouted. That chip cannot leave this city. It cannot reach my competitors. I'll pay whatever ransom he wants, but only after we have him cornered. He looked at Marcus. You know this man. You've worked with him. Where would he go? What would he do? Marcus tried to think. I don't know. We weren't close. He mostly kept to himself. Think, Elon demanded. Did he ever mention anything? Family, friends, places he liked to go? Marcus's brain felt like it was overheating, and then he remembered something. Wait, Marcus said slowly. About 2 months ago, Vincent was having lunch in the break room. I sat down next to him and he was looking at something on his phone. When I asked what it was, he showed me. Showed you what? Elon pressed. His daughter. Her name is Sophia. She's in college, MIT, I think. He said she was studying engineering. Marcus remembered more now. He kept talking about how expensive it was, how he was drowning in student loans, how he was working every extra shift he could just to help pay for it. The room went silent. Patricia spoke quietly, just like you and your sister. Marcus felt the weight of those words. Vincent had been desperate too, desperate enough to steal, desperate enough to betray his employer, desperate enough to risk everything, just like Marcus had done this morning. Desperation, Elon said, his voice softer now. It makes people do terrible things. He looked at Marcus with an expression that was hard to read. You stopped my jet because you were desperate to save your sister. Vincent stole from me because he was desperate to save his daughter's future. Elon shook his head. I'm starting to see a pattern here. His phone buzzed. He looked at it and his face changed again. They've moved up the deadline, Elon said, his voice tight. The thieves just sent another email. We don't have 72 hours anymore. How long do we have? Maria asked. Elon looked up and there was real fear in his eyes. 12 hours. We have 12 hours to find Vincent Torres and get that chip back, or they're selling it to the highest bidder. The office exploded into action. Elon's fingers flew across his phone. I'm calling my security team. We need every resource we have on this. Patricia was already pulling up employee records. Vincent Torres, age 42, lives at 1847 Meadowbrook Drive in South Austin. Drives a 2015 Honda Civic. License plate. Send all that information to my security chief, Elon interrupted. Right now. Maria was on her phone again, coordinating with multiple people at once. The two police officers looked at each other, clearly unsure if they should stay or leave. Marcus stood near the wall, feeling useless. His mind kept going back to Vincent, a man who seemed so normal, so ordinary, a father trying to help his daughter. Marcus, Elon said sharply, I need you to focus. Think about every conversation you've had with Vincent. Every detail matters. Marcus closed his eyes and tried to remember. He talked about Sophia a lot, how proud he was of her, how she was the first person in their family to go to college. What else? He said she wanted to work for a big tech company someday, maybe Tesla or SpaceX, or Marcus stopped. His eyes went wide. Oh God. What? Elon demanded. He said Sophia wanted to work for you, for one of your companies. He said it was her dream. Marcus felt sick. Do you think that's why he targeted your shipment? Because he knew what it was worth? Elon's jaw tightened. Probably. Someone with a daughter in engineering at MIT would understand the value of an AI chip prototype. Maria hung up her phone. Sir, our security team is heading to Torres' address now. ETA 15 minutes. Good, tell them to be careful. If he feels cornered, he might destroy the chip just to spite us. Would he really do that? Patricia asked. People do crazy things when they're desperate, Elon said, looking directly at Marcus. As we've learned this morning. Marcus felt the sting of those words but couldn't argue with them. Elon's phone rang. He answered immediately. Talk to me. He listened and his expression darkened. Empty. Are you sure? A pause. Check with the neighbors, find out when they last saw him. Check traffic cameras in the area. He hung up. Torres' house is empty, Elon told the room. Neighbors say they saw him loading up his car early this morning, around 4 a.m. That's 8 hours ago, one of the police officers said. He could be anywhere by now. Not anywhere, Elon said. He's still in Austin or close to it. How do you know? Marcus asked. Because the email demanding ransom came from an IP address inside this airport. Elon pulled up the email again. My tech team traced it. The message was sent from a computer terminal in this building. Patricia looked stunned. That's impossible. All our computers require login credentials. Then he used someone else's credentials, or he hacked the system. Elon stood up and started pacing. He's close. He has to be. You don't steal something this valuable and then run across the country. You stay nearby until the transaction is complete. Maria's phone buzzed. She looked at it and gasped. Sir, we just got another email, from Torres himself this time. She held up her phone. Elon read it aloud. Mr. Musk, I'm sorry it came to this. I never wanted to steal from you. I admire everything you've built, but my daughter's future is at stake. $50 million will secure her education and give her the life she deserves. You can afford this. For you, it's pocket change. For me, it's everything. Wire the money by 7 p.m. tonight or I sell the chip to your competitor. The choice is yours. The room fell silent. He thinks I'm just going to pay him, Elon said, his voice dangerous. He thinks I'll reward him for stealing from me. What are we going to do? Patricia asked. Elon didn't answer. He was staring at his phone, thinking. Marcus watched him and saw something shift in Elon's expression, an idea forming. Marcus, Elon said suddenly, you said Vincent talks about his daughter all the time. How close are they? Very close, I think. He showed me pictures of her all the time. Sophia this, Sophia that. Everything he does is for her. Does she know what he's done? Marcus shrugged. I have no idea. Elon looked at Maria. Find Sophia Torres. Find out what school she's at, what dorm, what classes. I need to know everything about her in the next 10 minutes. Sir, what are you thinking? Maria asked. Vincent stole from me because he loves his daughter, Elon said slowly. He's risking everything for her, but what if she doesn't want him to do this? What if she doesn't know what he's done? Patricia caught on. You want to contact the daughter, get her to convince her father to return the chip. Exactly. Elon turned to Marcus. But I can't be the one to call her. If Elon Musk calls, she'll panic and warn her father immediately. It needs to be someone else, someone who understands what Vincent is going through. Marcus felt everyone's eyes turn to him. Me, he said, his voice cracking. You want me to call his daughter? You understand desperation, Elon said. You understand doing the wrong thing for someone you love. You can talk to her in a way I can't. You can make her understand that her father is making a terrible mistake. But I just tried to extort you this morning, Marcus protested. I'm the last person who should be telling someone else not to break the law. That's exactly why it should be you, Elon said. You know what happens next. You know the consequences. You can warn her that her father's sacrifice will destroy both their lives. Maria looked up from her phone. I found her, Sophia Torres, 19 years old, sophomore at MIT studying robotics and artificial intelligence. 4.0 GPA, currently living in MacGregor House dormitory. I have her phone number. She held out her phone to Marcus. Marcus stared at it like it was a snake. What do I even say to her? The truth, Elon said. Tell her what her father did. Tell her he's about to throw his life away. Tell her she's the only one who can stop him. Marcus's hand shook as he reached for the phone. This morning, he'd made a terrible decision to save his sister. Now he was being asked to stop someone else from making that same mistake. What if she doesn't listen? Marcus asked. Then we're out of options, Elon said grimly. Marcus took the phone. He looked at Sophia's number on the screen. His finger hovered over the call button. Before he could press it, Patricia jumped up from her desk. Wait, she said urgently. I just saw something on the security cameras. Vincent Torres, he's here. He's back at the airport. Everyone rushed to the monitors. There, clear as day on camera 12, was Vincent Torres. He was sitting in Terminal 2 near Gate 47. He wasn't trying to hide. He wasn't trying to run. He was just sitting there, head in his hands, and on the seat next to him was a small silver case. That's the chip, Elon breathed. He has it with him. Why would he come back here? Maria asked. Marcus looked at Vincent on the screen. Even through the grainy camera footage, he could see the man was crying. I don't think he wants to do this, Marcus said quietly. I think he's breaking. Elon was already moving toward the door. Let's go, now, before he changes his mind or someone else gets to him. They ran. They raced through the airport corridors. Elon led the way, moving faster than Marcus would have thought possible. Patricia followed, her radio crackling with updates from other security officers. Maria and the two police officers brought up the rear. Don't spook him, Elon said over his shoulder. If he sees us coming like a mob, he might run. Or worse, he might damage the chip. They slowed as they approached Terminal 2. Through the glass walls, Marcus could see Vincent still sitting by Gate 47. He hadn't moved. The silver case sat beside him like a sleeping bomb. Let me go first, Elon said. Alone. Sir, I don't think that's safe, one of the officers said. He's not dangerous, look at him. Elon pointed at Vincent through the glass. He's falling apart. He doesn't want to be a criminal, he just ran out of options. Marcus knew that feeling all too well. I'll come with you, Marcus said suddenly. Elon looked at him, surprised. Why? Because he knows me. Because I understand what he's going through. Because, Marcus took a breath. Because maybe I can help him do what I almost couldn't do, tell the truth and face the consequences. Elon studied Marcus for a moment, then nodded. Okay, you and me. Everyone else stays here unless things go wrong. They walked through the terminal entrance. It was still early, so the terminal was mostly empty. A few travelers sat scattered around, staring at their phones or sleeping against their luggage. Vincent didn't see them approaching at first. His head was down, his hands covering his face. His shoulders shook like he was crying. "Vincent Tours," Elon said softly. Vincent's head snapped up. When he saw Elon Musk standing in front of him, his face went white. His eyes darted to the exits like he was calculating if he could run. "Please don't," Marcus said gently. "Vincent, it's me, Marcus Webb, from security." Vincent's eyes shifted to Marcus. "Marcus, what are you? Why are you with him?" "It's a long story," Marcus said. He moved slowly, carefully, sitting down in the chair across from Vincent. "But the short version is that I did something really stupid this morning, something that could have ruined my life, and Mr. Musk is giving me a chance to make it right." Vincent looked confused. His hands were shaking. "I don't understand." Elon remained standing, but his posture was less aggressive than before. "Is that my chip?" he asked, gesturing to the silver case. Vincent looked down at it like he'd forgotten it was there. Slowly, he nodded. "Yes." "Did you open it?" "No, I never even looked inside. I just took the case." Vincent's voice was hoarse, like he'd been crying for hours. "I swear I didn't damage anything. I didn't copy anything. It's exactly how it was." "Then why take it?" Elon asked. Not angry now, just genuinely curious. Vincent's face crumpled. Fresh tears started streaming down his cheeks. "My daughter, my Sophia, she's so smart, Mr. Musk, so brilliant. She got into MIT. Can you believe that? A girl from South Austin whose dad is just a cargo handler. She got into MIT on academic scholarship." "That's incredible," Elon said. "But the scholarship doesn't cover everything," Vincent continued, his words tumbling out faster now. "Living expenses, books, lab fees, housing. She's been working 3 jobs just to stay enrolled. Last month, she collapsed from exhaustion. They took her to the hospital." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. This story was too familiar. "She called me from the hospital," Vincent said, his voice breaking. "She was crying, saying she didn't think she could keep going, that maybe she should drop out, come home, get a regular job." He wiped his eyes roughly with his sleeve. "Do you know what that did to me? Hearing my brilliant daughter say she had to give up on her dreams because I couldn't afford to help her. I felt like the biggest failure in the world." "So you saw my shipment come through," Elon said quietly. Vincent nodded. "I've handled Tesla cargo before. I knew what was in that case. I knew how valuable it was. And I thought," he laughed bitterly, "I thought if I could just get $50 million, Sophia could finish school. She could have everything she deserves. She could change the world." "By stealing from someone who's trying to change the world himself," Elon said. "I know," Vincent said loudly. Then quieter, "I know. That's the part that's been killing me. I admire you, Mr. Musk. I believe in what you're doing, and I still stole from you. I betrayed everything I believe in." He picked up the silver case and held it in his lap. "I sent that email last night demanding the ransom. I thought I could go through with it. I thought I could become a criminal if it meant saving my daughter's future. But then," he looked down at the case, "then I really thought about what I was doing." "What changed?" Marcus asked gently. "I thought about Sophia, about what she would think if she knew. Would she be proud of me? Would she be grateful?" Vincent shook his head. "No, she'd be ashamed. She'd know that I taught her that when things get hard, you become a criminal. You take what isn't yours. You betray people who trust you." He looked up at Elon with red, swollen eyes. "My daughter wants to work for you someday, Mr. Musk. It's her dream. She has your picture on her dorm room wall. She talks about you like you're a hero, and I was going to steal from you. I was going to be the reason she could never work for the company she loves." Vincent stood up slowly. He held out the case to Elon. "I came back to return it, to face whatever happens next, because that's what I want Sophia to learn from me. Not how to steal, not how to take shortcuts, but how to own up to your mistakes, how to do the right thing even when it's the hardest thing you've ever done." Elon took the case. He opened it carefully and examined the contents. After a long moment, he nodded. It's intact. Everything's here. Patricia stepped forward from where she'd been watching. Mr. Torres, you're under arrest for theft, attempted extortion, and... Wait, Elon said, the same word he'd used with Marcus. Patricia stopped, looking frustrated. Sir, he stole from you. He tried to extort $50 million. He came back, Elon interrupted. He returned what he stole. He's ready to face the consequences. He looked at Vincent. That takes courage. Vincent shook his head. It's not courage, it's just what a father should do. Be someone his daughter can be proud of, even if that means going to prison. You won't go to prison, Elon said. Everyone stared at him. What? Vincent whispered. You made a terrible mistake, Elon said slowly. A horrible, stupid, criminal mistake. You put my work at risk. You stole something worth millions. You could have caused massive damage to my company. I know, Vincent said miserably, but you didn't go through with it, Elon continued. You came back. You returned the chip undamaged. You chose to do the right thing even though you knew it would cost you everything. He paused. That's more than most people would do. He turned to Patricia. I'm not pressing charges. Patricia's mouth fell open. But sir, he made a mistake, a big one, but punishing him won't undo what happened. It won't make my company stronger. It won't make the world better, and it certainly won't help his daughter. Elon looked directly at Vincent. Your daughter, Sophia, what's she studying at MIT? Robotics and artificial intelligence, Vincent said, his voice shaking. Is she talented? Top of her class, she's incredible. Elon nodded slowly like he was making a decision. Then here's what's going to happen. Tesla will sponsor Sophia's remaining education, full scholarship, tuition, housing, books, everything. In exchange, she'll do a summer internship with us. If she's as brilliant as you say, we'll offer her a job when she graduates. Vincent's legs actually gave out. He collapsed back into the chair. You, what? I don't. Why would you? Because your daughter shouldn't suffer because her father made a mistake, Elon said. Especially a mistake he had the character to correct. Sophia didn't steal from me. You did. She shouldn't lose her dreams because of your choices. I don't deserve this, Vincent whispered. I don't deserve your kindness. Maybe not, Elon agreed. But Sophia deserves a chance, and I can give her that chance. He turned to Marcus. As for you, your sister's surgery is paid for as promised, but you're also going to work off what you did. Marcus braced himself. SpaceX is hiring security consultants, Elon said. People who understand airport operations, security protocols, cargo handling. You're going to apply. If you pass the interviews on your own merit, you'll get the job. Better pay than you make here. Enough to cover your sister's ongoing medical care. Marcus couldn't speak. His throat was too tight. You're both getting second chances, Elon said, looking between Marcus and Vincent. Don't waste them, and don't make me regret trusting you. We won't, they said together. Elon's phone buzzed. He looked at it and his expression changed. The softness disappeared, replaced by something harder, angrier. But there's something else, Elon said, his voice tight. Something both of you need to understand. Something that's been bothering me since this morning started. He pulled up something on his phone. I said earlier that the delay, the theft, the disruption, all of it made me angry. Very angry. His voice rose. But that's not what made me furious. He turned his phone so they could see the screen. It was a news article with a photo of a young girl in a hospital bed. This, Elon said, his voice shaking with emotion, is what made me furious. Marcus and Vincent both leaned forward to see the screen. The headline read, Billionaire's private jet delayed while cancer patient waits for donor organ. Below it was a photo of a little girl, maybe 12 years old. She was bald from chemotherapy, but she wore a bright smile. Her name, according to the caption, was Amara Santiago. I don't understand, Marcus said, his stomach sinking. Elon's hand shook as he held the phone. This morning, while my jet was held on the tarmac because of your security hold, Marcus, there was a small medical transport plane waiting on a nearby runway. It couldn't take off because my larger jet was blocking the taxiway. He scrolled down the article. That medical plane was carrying a donated liver. A liver being transported from a donor in Houston to a hospital in Florida where this 12-year-old girl was waiting for her transplant. A transplant that had been scheduled for months. A transplant that was her only chance to live. Marcus felt like he'd been punched in the chest. Oh God. Because of the delay this morning, Elon continued, his voice getting louder, that medical plane missed its optimal flight window. They had to reroute. They had to add 40 extra minutes to the journey. 40 minutes that organ was outside the optimal temperature range. 40 minutes that this child's life hung in the balance. Vincent had gone pale. Did she? She survived, Elon said. The transplant happened. She's in recovery now and the doctors say she'll be okay. But it was close, too close. The organ was right on the edge of being unusable. He put his phone away and looked at both men with an intensity that made Marcus want to disappear. This is what makes me furious, Elon said, his voice shaking with barely controlled emotion. Not the inconvenience to me, not the theft of my property, not the delay to my work, but the fact that when we're so focused on our own crises, our own desperate situations, we don't see the other people we're affecting. We don't see the ripples we create. Marcus felt tears streaming down his face. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know there was a medical plane. Of course you didn't know, Elon interrupted. That's exactly my point. You were so focused on saving Zara that you couldn't see anything else. You didn't think about what stopping my jet might cause. You didn't think about the SpaceX engineers waiting in Florida. You didn't think about the investors watching. And you certainly didn't think about a little girl waiting for a liver that could save her life. He turned to Vincent. And you were so focused on Sophia's education that you were willing to steal research that could help millions of people. Research that could improve autonomous driving and save thousands of lives every year through better technology. But all you could see was your daughter's tuition bills. Vincent couldn't meet his eyes. You're right, I was selfish, I was blind. We're all blind sometimes, Elon said, his voice softening slightly. We all think our problems are the most important things in the world. And to us, they are. Marcus's sister is everything to him. Vincent's daughter is everything to him. My company's missions are everything to me. He pulled his phone back out and showed them the picture of Amara again. But we can't let our tunnel vision blind us to everyone else's struggles. We can't let our own pain make us forget that other people are fighting their own battles. Sometimes battles that are even more desperate than ours. Marcus looked at the little girl's face, her brave smile despite the tubes and machines. What was her name again? Amara Santiago, Elon said quietly. 12 years old. She wants to be an astronaut when she grows up. Despite everything, Marcus smiled through his tears. An astronaut. Yeah, I visited her hospital this morning after I finally made it to Florida. I wanted to make sure she was okay, that the delay hadn't, Elon's voice caught, that I hadn't cost her everything. You visited her? Vincent asked, surprised. Of course I did. Once I found out what happened, I couldn't focus on the launch until I knew she was safe. Elon showed them another photo on his phone. This one was from today, Amara in her hospital bed post-surgery, giving a big thumbs up to the camera. Elon was in the picture too, standing beside her bed. She was so excited to meet me, Elon said with a small smile. She told me all about her dreams of going to Mars. She asked me if SpaceX would save her a seat on a mission someday. What did you tell her? Marcus asked. I told her we'd save her the best seat on the ship, right next to the window so she could see everything. The terminal was quiet except for the distant sound of announcements over the PA system. So here's what I want from both of you, Elon said, his voice becoming firm again. In exchange for the second chances I'm giving you, I want you to remember this day. Remember Amara Santiago. Remember that your actions have ripples you can't always see. He looked at Marcus. When you start at SpaceX, if you earn that job through the interviews, you're going to help create security protocols, but not just protocols that protect our technology. Protocols that ensure emergency vehicles and medical transports always have priority. Always. No matter who's waiting. No matter how important they think they are. Marcus nodded, wiping his eyes. I promise, I'll make sure this never happens again. Elon turned to Vincent. And you? You're going to volunteer. There's a charity in Austin that helps families afford their children's education. You're going to work with them. You're going to help other parents find legal ways to support their kids' dreams. You're going to be the help you wished you had." "Yes, sir," Vincent said. "How many hours do you want me to volunteer?" "I don't care about hours," Elon said. "I care that you actually help people, that you take what you learned from this nightmare and use it to keep other parents from making the same mistakes you almost made." "I will, I swear I will." Patricia, who had been watching quietly, spoke up. "Mr. Musk, I have to ask, why are you really doing this? You could have both these men arrested. You could ruin their lives. You'd be completely justified." Elon was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was thick with emotion. "Because when my son Nevada died, I was furious. Furious at the world. Furious at fate. Furious at God if he exists. I was furious that I had all this money, all this power, all this influence, and I couldn't save one tiny life that mattered more to me than anything else in the universe." He paused, composing himself. "I learned something from that loss. Money can't solve everything. Power can't prevent every tragedy. You can build rockets that go to Mars, but you can't always save the person right in front of you." A tear rolled down his cheek. He didn't bother wiping it away. But kindness, mercy, second chances, those things can change the trajectory of someone's entire life. I can't save everyone. I can't fix every problem. But I can help the people right in front of me when I have the chance. I can choose to see their humanity instead of just their mistakes. Marcus felt like his heart might break. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for seeing us, for giving us another chance." Vincent echoed, "Thank you, Mr. Musk. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of this." Elon nodded curtly, composing himself. "Now I have a rocket launch to reschedule. Marcus, you have a sister to visit in the hospital and tell her the good news. Vincent, you have a daughter to call at MIT." He started to walk away, then paused. "Oh, and one more thing." They both looked at him. "Amara Santiago, the girl who got the liver transplant." Elon's face softened into a real smile. "I told her about both of you, about Marcus stopping my jet to save his sister, about Vincent returning what he stole to protect his daughter's future, about second chances and doing the right thing even when it's hard." "What did she say?" Marcus asked. "She said that if you two could be brave enough to tell the truth and face your consequences, then she could be brave enough to recover from her surgery and chase her dreams." Elon's smile grew. "She also said to tell you both that she's rooting for you, and that if you ever need an astronaut for your family's future space adventures, she's available." With that, Elon Musk walked toward the exit where his jet was waiting. Maria followed, typing rapidly on her phone. The police officers nodded to Patricia and left. Marcus and Vincent sat in the empty terminal, both of them processing everything that had just happened. "I can't believe he forgave us," Vincent said quietly. "Me neither," Marcus agreed. "We don't deserve it." "No," Vincent said. "But maybe that's the point. Maybe mercy isn't about deserving it. Maybe it's about getting a chance to become the person you should have been all along." Marcus thought about Zara, who would get her surgery, about Vincent's daughter Sophia, who would finish MIT, about Amara Santiago, who would grow up to chase the stars. 3 girls who would live because of choices made this morning, because of desperation, confession, and unexpected compassion. "We have to make this count," Marcus said. "We have to make sure we're worth what he gave us." "Agreed," Vincent said. He stood up and held out his hand. "I think we just became brothers in the strangest way possible." Marcus shook his hand. "Brothers in second chances." They walked out of the terminal together, into a future they almost threw away, carrying the weight of gratitude and the determination to never waste it. 6 months later, Marcus stood in the SpaceX Security Center in Hawthorne, California, watching the wall of monitors that tracked every vehicle movement around the facility. The screens glowed in the dimly lit room, showing different angles of the campus: entry gates, parking lots, cargo areas, and the landing pads where rockets returned from space. He'd earned this job. 3 brutal rounds of interviews, technical tests, background checks. Elon hadn't given him anything except the opportunity to apply. The rest Marcus had done himself. And now, 6 months later, he was creating the new security protocols Elon had asked for. Emergency vehicle priority systems, medical transport fast lanes, clear procedures so that no one's personal crisis would ever delay someone else's life-saving moment. His phone buzzed on the desk. A text from Zara lit up the screen. Got an A on my anatomy test. Doctor says my heart is stronger than ever. Love you, big brother. Read. Marcus smiled, his eyes getting misty. He texted back quickly. Proud of you. You're going to be the best teacher those kids ever have. Another message came through immediately. I'm studying extra hard. I want to make you proud, after everything you did for me. Marcus stared at that message for a long moment. Everything he'd done, the desperate morning at the airport, the security hold. The moment he thought his life was over, he typed carefully. You already make me proud, every single day. Now go celebrate that A. He put his phone down and looked back at the monitors. On one screen, he could see a medical helicopter landing on the designated emergency pad, a pad that existed now because of the protocols he'd helped design. Someone's life was being saved right now, and this time, nothing would delay it. Across the country in Austin, Texas, Vincent Torres sat at a worn table in the East Austin Community Center. Around him sat 5 other parents, all of them looking tired and worried. All of them struggling to figure out how to pay for their children's college education. The key is to start with the FAFSA, Vincent explained patiently. I know the form looks scary, but I'll walk you through it step by step. A woman named Rosa raised her hand. But what if the financial aid isn't enough? What if there's still a gap? Then we look at scholarships, Vincent said. He pulled out a thick binder. I've compiled over 300 scholarship opportunities. Some are for $1,000, some are for $50,000. Every little bit helps. A man named Carlos shook his head. This is overwhelming. Maybe my son should just skip college and get a job. No, Vincent said firmly. Don't give up on his dreams because the path looks hard. There are always options, legal options, honest options. He thought about that morning at the airport, the silver case, the $50 million ransom that had almost destroyed everything. I almost made a terrible mistake trying to help my daughter, Vincent said quietly. I almost threw away everything, my integrity, my freedom, her respect, because I thought there was no other way. But there's always another way, always. The parents around the table listened, sensing the weight of his words. Let me help you find those ways, Vincent continued. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this 3 nights a week, because no parent should have to choose between their values and their children's future. After the meeting ended, Vincent checked his phone. There was a message from Sophia. Dad, just finished my first day at the Tesla internship. It's amazing. I'm working on the autonomous driving team. Thank you for everything. I love you so much. Vincent's eyes filled with tears. He typed back with shaking fingers. I'm so proud of you, Mija. You earned this with your brilliance and hard work. Make the most of every moment. He added one more line. And remember, always do the right thing even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. In Florida, 12-year-old Amara Santiago sat in her backyard looking up at the stars. Her long hair had grown back, thick and dark and beautiful. The scar on her abdomen from the transplant surgery was fading. Her mom came out with 2 mugs of hot chocolate. What are you thinking about, sweetheart? Mars, Amara said simply. I'm thinking about Mars. Her mom smiled. You and that red planet. Mr. Musk promised me a seat on the ship, Amara said seriously. By the window, so I can see everything. That's a long time away, honey. Years and years. I know, that's okay. I'll wait. Amara took a sip of hot chocolate. Mom, did I ever tell you about the 2 men Mr. Musk told me about? The ones from that morning. The ones who made mistakes, her mom asked. Yeah, Marcus and Vincent. Mr. Musk said they both did wrong things because they loved their family so much. But then they told the truth and tried to make things right. That takes courage, her mom said. That's what Mr. Musk said too. Amara looked back at the stars. I think about them sometimes, about how they were brave even when they were scared. It helps me be brave when things are hard. Her mom squeezed her shoulder. You're already the bravest person I know. I'm brave because other people were brave first. Amara said. Mr. Musk was brave enough to forgive them. They were brave enough to tell the truth. The doctors were brave enough to save me even though my liver almost didn't make it. Everyone's bravery helped someone else. She pointed at a bright star. When I go to Mars someday, I'm going to take something from everyone who was brave for me. I'm going to take their courage with me to a new planet. Back in California, Marcus's supervisor walked into the security center. Webb, got a minute? Marcus turned from the monitors. Sure, what's up? There's a medical transport requesting emergency landing clearance. Should be here in 15 minutes. I'm implementing your new fast-track protocol. Marcus felt a surge of pride. Good. Make sure all other air traffic is redirected. That transport gets priority over everything. Already done, including a private jet that was scheduled to land. The supervisor grinned. The pilot wasn't happy, but he'll wait. Lives come first, right? Ways, Marcus said firmly. As his supervisor left, Marcus thought about that morning 6 months ago. The morning he stopped Elon's jet. The morning that changed everything. He'd been wrong to do it. Wrong to let his desperation override everything else. But something good had come from that terrible decision. Something important. He'd learned that everyone's problems matter. That you can't solve your crisis by creating someone else's. That the ripples of your actions spread farther than you can imagine. His phone buzzed again. This time it was an email from Vincent. Subject, check this out. Marcus just helped a single dad get his son into community college with full financial aid. No stealing required. How's California? V. Marcus typed back, California's good. Just save someone's life by making sure their medical flight landed on time. No jet holding required. Proud of you, brother, M. He hit send and smiled. 2 men who'd almost destroyed everything. 2 men who'd been given second chances they didn't deserve. 2 men who were spending every day trying to earn those chances. And somewhere, in his office at SpaceX headquarters, Elon Musk looked at the photos pinned to his private bulletin board. One showed Amara Santiago giving a thumbs up from her hospital bed. Another showed Marcus Webb's security badge from his first day at SpaceX. A third showed an email from Sophia Torres, thanking him for believing in her. His assistant Maria knocked on the door. Sir, you have that meeting with the board in 10 minutes. I'll be there, Elon said, still looking at the photos. Are you okay? Maria asked gently. Elon thought about his son Nevada, about the pain that never fully healed, about the choice he'd made 6 months ago to show mercy instead of fury. Yeah, he said softly. I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. What changed? Elon touched the photo of Amara. I remembered something important. I can't save everyone. I can't fix every problem, but I can help the people right in front of me. I can choose kindness over anger. I can give second chances to people who are trying to become better. He turned to Maria, and sometimes that matters more than anything else I'll ever build. So that's the story of how one chaotic morning changed 3 families forever, how desperation met mercy, how second chances turned into new beginnings. Now I want to hear from you. Where are you watching this from? Drop your country or city in the comments below. I love connecting with viewers from all around the world. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that everyone deserves a second chance, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel so we can spread more stories of kindness and hope together. Remember, we never know what battles the people around us are fighting. A little mercy, a little compassion can change someone's entire life. The next incredible story is already waiting for you on the screen right now. Click it and let's keep this journey going. Thank you for watching. Be kind to someone today. You never know whose life you might save.